You don't have to learn the hard way and lose $60,000 from a mistake I made that could have easily been avoided. My name's Chris, also known as Manifest. I'm a full-time rock artist. I have 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and I love helping other artists. And the problem with me when I started my career is I wanted it too badly. I wanted it so bad I would do anything. I wanted to do music full time, and so I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. And I remember, I would be working at my job, 9 to 5 every single day. And I remember I took Fridays off so I could play more shows. And I was just working at this dream, writing new songs. And I think once I had one EP and enough songs for an album, I assumed I needed to get signed now. I had to get signed, to make it to the next level. Like, that's what I was always told. You need to get signed to a label. They'll make you famous. They'll open up all the doors. And so we would even drive all the way down to Nashville to this event called the GMAs, which is, I think, the Gospel Music Awards. And so we'd go down there and try and do showcases and meet with people and try and get signed. And I remember I got on this hip-hop showcase and I was really excited about it. And when it first started the night off, there's tons of people. It was packed. And I'm like, when am I going on, man? And he shows me the list. I'm like, oh, I'm not going on until 1 a.m. to the point that there was nobody there. We drove, I'm pretty sure it was like 16 hours from Toronto, Canada to Nashville to perform to nobody except for my girlfriend. And I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. And there is a better way. And it's, first of all, writing great songs is the first one. But I want to share with you the big mistake that I made, because I did end up making it, and I did sign a really bad record deal. It could have been worse. It was a licensing deal, and we ended up getting some distribution, and thank God some songs did well, and we ended up having success in Japan, which breathed new life into my career in America and Canada and just opened up more doors, right? But then my deal was done. And I didn't listen to the advice of my wife, because we had become our own record label now. We were the ones that were, spending the money on the music videos, buying onto the tours, even putting our own money into radio, just doing all the extra stuff that supposedly the label's supposed to do, but we were doing it. So we were acting as our own label. Sure, the label had a little bit of radio success and a few things here and there, but it was really us pushing this forward. And I'll be honest with you, I was in the car with my A&R at a meeting, and he knew my deal was coming to an end, and of course the president is encouraging him to, re-sign me and stuff like that. And he was like, honestly, dude, you don't really need us, man. You can do this on your own now, especially with digital distribution, and you don't need us for physical distribution. CDs were already starting to die at that point. They're pretty much dead now. They're still alive for shows, and people still do buy CDs, but not like they used to, right? And so even out of the mouth of the A&R, I was like, dude, you don't really need us. But then I remember in California, in our room, I've got my manager on one call. I think I had another coach on another, and I got my wife here. And my wife's saying, no, don't do it, Chris. Don't re-sign with them. We don't need them. We already did a direct deal with Japan, and this was a label in the US that wanted, rights to our record where the majority of income was coming from. But I was like, no, I need them for radio, and I need them for this and that. And despite my wife saying no, the $60,000 advance just looked so good and just so tempting and whatnot. And even though it was signing me in for another 3 records, because you got to understand, the first deal I ever signed, I got nothing, 0. All I got was distribution, and I got the name of the label and their contacts and stuff like that, which was a start. But it's because I wanted it so bad, and I had nothing to negotiate that I got a crappy deal at the beginning. But then we worked it, and we ended up making sales, and we pushed things forward to the point that I'm out of the deal now, and now they're trying to re-sign me and offer me $60,000. And we ended up signing it. And, $60,000 to a kid that's, came from nothing and, small town, now living in California in Orange County and just trying to live the dream. I thought maybe they could take it to the next level and really blow it up. But we could have made 10 times that amount with them taking control of that record. And this is where I beg you and applaud you. Thank God the deal that I did sign was a licensing deal. And what that is where you say, hey, so-and-so record label, you have rights to this record for 3, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, to sell this record. You get the majority of the royalties, probably 70 to 80%. I only get 20%, 30%, whatever it is. And but you have rights to this, and use your contacts to hopefully blow this thing up, right? So that you can have a bigger percentage of the pie. Because honestly, I would rather 30% of a much bigger pie than 100% of a small, tiny pie. That's the only reason you sign with the labels, to make the pie bigger, to open up the doors. But I knew from experience that this label was not going to do what I really wanted. But I think in my hopes and dreams, and they did put some money on the line that they would take it to the next level. No, during that time, after we signed with them, they went through some merger and they were selling out to a bigger label. I don't know if it was EMI or Universal or whoever it was, but they basically were selling out, so their attention wasn't on the record, didn't get marketed right. Anyways, it sold way less than the other one, and radio wasn't doing good, and all these promises didn't happen, and yet they got rights to this record where I'm the one on tour. I'm the one, trying to make things happen and wanting to spend extra money doing this and on this because I believe in it. I was spending money marketing this thing when I'm only getting 20-30% of the record, but thank God, eventually I did get my baby back. And this is the $600,000 advice, is that you never, ever want to sign your masters away. Okay? Unless you're talking 6 plus zeros, not 60,000, 6 million plus. Okay, if they want to get rights to the master, because I did get my record back and now I own it 100%. And now after all those years of touring, promoting, all that hard work and hustle, now I'm still promoting my music, releasing music, and I get paid for every little promo video I do, every post, every new fan that comes in. I get the royalties now, right? And this is what I want for you. But so many artists want it so bad, and they just think anyone's going to make their dream happen. And one label's interested, even though they've never had even success in their genre before. They go and sign on the contract. They sign their master away, not for 4 years, not for 5 years, for like 50 years, or perpetuity, which means forever. They never get the record back. And so that's why I applaud you. Build up your fan base. Put in the money. Put in the time. Put in the hustle. Get your resources together and build up your career as much as you can. So if you do want to partner with the label that's actually going to do something, you can be in a position of negotiation. If all you've got is a song and a few songs that are great, that's not a negotiation position. Everybody's got good songs. But do you got the platform? Do you get the fan base to market? It's the same thing with someone who's an author, right? People don't care how good the book is, right? In that movie, The Words, when the guy's trying to get signed to a publisher, which is the same thing as a record label, they're like, oh, this book is awesome, or it's whatever. But he's like, I don't know how to market something like this for an unknown author. And that's the same thing with you. If you're getting started, you're an unknown artist, you got to build that fan base up. So how do you do that? Well, you got to start marketing, getting it out there, get some releases under your belt, some collaborations, eventually some tours again when COVID ends, right? And get out there and get a following going, so you have a position of negotiation so you don't get ripped off. Hey music artist, it looks like you haven't downloaded a copy of my book Spotify Profits yet, showing you how I got 12.2 million streams and 100,000 followers on Spotify without a record label and without having to go on tour anymore. This thing reads like a magazine. It's going to show you how to hack that Spotify algorithm, how to release your songs in order so that you get the best chance of getting on those editorial playlists, how I collaborate with other artists, but most importantly, how to build that email list so that you can monetize your music. This will work for any genre, works wherever you live, does not matter. We live in a global singles economy, and now is your time to grow your Spotify following. Click the link in this video to download a copy today.